Hey everyone, Ripple Swell is happening as we speak, and wow, there's a ton to unpack today. I've been piecing together clips and news from different sources to make sure you're in the loop. So, the event just launched with Monica Long and Ashish taking the stage to get things rolling. Their opening discussion was fantastic, but then things got even better when the CEO showed up. That interview, packed with some mind-blowing insights you need to hear. Now here's something interesting. There are 17 crypto companies basically in limbo right now, all waiting on IPO approvals that can't move forward until the government shutdown is done. We also caught a recent chat with Canary Capital's CEO at Swell. Take a look at this moment. Everyone should be unbelievably excited. Bitwise Invest CEO is spelling out why crypto's path forward is locked in and unstoppable. Listen to this.
Everyone should be unbelievably excited. You know, after XRPL and XRP are over 13 years old, the crypto space is maybe 15 years old. It's all happening now. This space, for the first time, is going mainstream in 2025. Part of going mainstream means that there are people coming on board, incredible institutions here at Swell who are building services, integrating, but they're mainstream by definition because they're doing other things also. And that means for them, a month is super fast, a quarter is fast. And so I think in the crypto space, the timeframes that people are familiar with are just getting pushed out. And there's a little bit of relearning how to interpret the news flow as a byproduct. But I will unequivocally say we've been around for 7, 8 years now. I have never seen it feel as inevitable as it does right now in this year that crypto is arriving to update the financial system and will be a mainstream asset class.
Yeah. Steve.
And you know what? We're watching it unfold right before our eyes. Grayscale refines Amendment Number 2 for Spot XRP, ETF, Bitwise, and Canaria. In the final race for approval, Grayscale just updated their S1 for XRP Trust ETF, naming Edward McGee as CFO of the Davis Polk and Ward Wardwell as legal counsel, signaling it's ready to launch. Folks, we are standing at the edge of history right now. Spot XRP ETFs, they're not coming, they're here. We're literally watching the countdown clock hit 0, and it's all converging beautifully with Swell. Don't believe me? Go check the DTCC yourself. Those ETF tickers are sitting there in black and white. XRP, XRPC, XRPI, XRPK, XRPL, XRPR, XRPT. Volatility, Rex Osprey's queued up. CoinShares is standing by. Another volatility entry. Canary Capital, Bitwise. The whole crew is primed and ready to roll. Now let me ask you something. Where are the juggernauts like BlackRock in this equation? Here's the reality check. You hold the cards here. Banking with BlackRock? Then grab your keyboard, reach out to your account manager, and lay it out plain and simple. These are the products I'm chasing. Whatever financial house you call home, if they're sleeping on Spot XRP offerings, that's your signal to kick down some doors. The responsibility lands on us to push for what we want going forward. Listen, we are the voice that matters. We're the XRP community, and staying quiet isn't part of the playbook. Let's make some waves. Check this clip from Ripple Swell, RLUSD. It will be the stablecoin of choice. David Ripley. Listen to this.
Your vendors, or you're moving your money around
because
to your
it's
different
it's
locations
it's
around
better,
the world?
faster, cheaper.
Yeah.
But of course, you got to cross this threshold and get to these steps and get everything integrated. That's going to happen now. The same as it happened for kind of native crypto companies. It's not going to happen for
More
banks, brokers,
mainstream.
fintechs.
Yeah.
All these other companies, they're going to be settling with our LUSD and everything else.
From your lips. So let's talk a little bit about the, thank you, by the way. Let's talk a little bit about the TradFi.
The amount of gold in this thing is insane. I'm basically diving in section by section, pulling out content left and right, because seriously, the insights dropping here are absolutely fire, and I can't not talk about them. So what we've got is Ashish having this whole conversation with the folks over at CoinDesk, diving deep into Ripple XRP, the whole journey of how the XRP ledger transformed, and yeah, the legendary XRP army too. Listen to this.
I think years ago, and of course the XRP army is not part of this question, but XRP wasn't always the easiest narrative to help educate people, right? This idea of what I think of as just a, kind of multifaceted financial services entity or platform offering as many things as possible was a little bit outside of the education scope of currency, smart contract platforms, stablecoins, things. So I guess now with these events and this kind of explanatory power and sort of financial power that Ripple has, and the acquisition like of Hidden Road and the rebranding that as a explicit prime services business, do you feel just more like a big diversified financial services company?
Well, I mean, I think what's interesting is that we planted those seeds 12 years ago, but as you know, rebuilding the financial ecosystem doesn't happen overnight. So, hey, listen, there's ways to accelerate. The acquisitions that Ripple has done is great, and I think that'll accelerate adoption. Again, bridging traditional finance to crypto. But then there's a lot that I'm excited about building directly on the XRP ledger as well. And that's what I'm excited about with my new company, Evernorth, which is a XRP digital asset treasury. I think that is going to be a wedge that helps traditional institutions that want exposure to crypto be able to participate and get exposure, and in the future get exposure to DeFi, but as easy as holding a stock. Right. So you can just go into your portfolio and you can add XRPN, Evernorth, and you'll get access to a lot of what crypto has to offer.
We are kind of big fan. I don't know, Jen, if you are. I'm a big fan. I'm going to say we're big fans of the DAT structure because it gives a lot of the benefits of, let's say, an ETF wrapper without some of the sometimes unnecessary constraints like daily liquidity and things like that, or it allows treasurers to really do interesting things that can't be done in other wrappers. So, having XRP in that kind of format is obviously going to be great news for the faithful. What kind of things are you able to talk about now that you can do in terms of once you have that in your treasury to make it more appealing to folks?
Yeah, so I think just a couple of things. One, by holding public stock equity versus an ETF, and ETFs are great too. I mean, they help plug in to the traditional system. It makes it easier. But I think what we can do in the future at Evernorth is also plug into the DeFi ecosystem. We can earn yield on that treasury. Now, you think about how hard that is for individuals, even for myself as a crypto, OG, as they call, it is a lot to unpack to participate in the DeFi ecosystem. What I'm excited about is bringing that with a couple of clicks. You can go add the stock, but then you get exposure to all that great goodness that could potentially be coming down the line in the DeFi ecosystem. But to start, we're going to go and earn yield on the treasury using traditional methods. And so, we'll have a blend, but when the DeFi ecosystem starts to grow and mature with the right kind of controls, we'll be ready to participate in that ecosystem. And we want to build that right on top of the ledger, XRP ledger.
So listen, I got to ask you all something. Evernorth, right? Is that on your radar? Are you planning to get in on this via the stock market? Because I'm genuinely curious about what you're thinking here. All right, so the ETFs came through. Then Ripple made a move and bought up this other company. This company is called Palisade. It strengthens Ripple's position in institutional digital finance. It adds secure wallet and custody technology, multi-chain support, and faster onboarding for its clients. This allows Ripple to offer a full compliance solution for banks and companies to store and move digital assets, paving the way for broader adoption of Ripple's technology and greater potential use for XRP. That bomb dropped yesterday, and it was massive. And check this out. Over at Black Swan Capitalists, Versant has just hit $4 billion in crypto investments. Wild, right? So this whole Palisade thing, my bad, Palisade Incorporated. It's basically Ripple supercharging their institutional custody setup. Now here's where it gets interesting with all these connections. You're looking at Flare in the mix, Ripple obviously, Riva's there, One Money, Schumann Financial, and they're the European outfit that actually launched the digital euro built on top of the XRP ledger. Then you've got Zoni QX in there as well. So you've got multiple Ripple partners already diving headfirst into this thing. And watching Ripple spread their wings into different use cases, man, that's pretty cool to see happen in real time. I've really got to level with you here. We're living through the most thrilling moment in this space. Sure, the price action isn't exactly matching the butterflies in my stomach right now. Every morning, I jump out of bed absolutely stoked to put these videos together for you guys. But let's be real. I totally understand that the daily price movements can feel pretty rough. But here's what keeps me going. I'm genuinely buzzing about the direction everything's moving, and how Ripple's carved out their spot, and how XRP's planted itself on the global stage alongside some absolutely massive financial players worldwide. At the end of the day, we're all throwing down a calculated gamble here, yeah? Diving into crypto is wildly risky stuff. Look, the reality is most of this tech won't make it through. But those companies that actually break through, they're going to turn into the next Googles and Nvidias out there. And that possibility right there, that's what truly gets my heart racing, you know? If you're sitting there feeling overwhelmed by all this and need someone to bounce ideas off of, track down a financial advisor who genuinely understands crypto inside and out. Spending just a couple of hours picking their brain can completely transform how you think about your spot in this wild market we're in. My 2 cents, when I'm looking 5 to 10 years into the future, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, those 3 are setting themselves up to be absolute juggernauts. And hey, don't forget about throwing your HBARs, your XLMs, your chain links into the mix. All of these are going to be major players as this space evolves. But that's just where my head's at. I want to hear from you in the comments about which cryptos have you excited. Tell me what's going through your brain after everything we unpacked here today. Until next time, take care.